welcome to the Fun Going Fast channel. I thought that it would be a nice thing to do. People ask me a lot of questions about what four-wheeler I would recommend or comparing one to the other, so I thought I'd talk about the different choices of four-wheelers that are out right now, kind of in the new and used market. And I've got an example of each one, and we'll look at each one individually and kind of talk about strengths and weaknesses and cost and why it may be a good fit or not a good fit for your interest. So this is a 1995 Polaris Explorer 400, two-stroke. So these are great first ATVs if you live somewhere where it's cold, or you just don't want to put a lot of money into it, or you want an extra four-wheeler for a spouse or for kids or for family and friends that come over. These are great ways to get into it. These things can be purchased from $1,000 to about $2,500, even cheaper if you want to do a fixer-upper. It's two-stroke, so it's really straightforward and easy to use. It's not terribly fast. It's probably 19 horsepower or so, give or take. It still has four-wheel drive. It's called utility because you've got utility racks on the front and back. You can put a tow hitch on the back. It has a winch on the front. You can put a snow plow on there. So it gives you a lot of options for being able to use it on your property or land. So these work really well for farming or out on your property with the utility racks. You can use a tow hitch on the back. The older ones actually have a backup pull start. So this is pure utility. These guys are not going to be as fast. They're going to be a little heavier. They're going to be kind of top heavy, so they don't really like being ridden too aggressively, but they're really good for working around the house or farm or kind of more leisurely riding. So this would be considered utility class. We move over to another Polaris. This is a moving up in price and technology and features and performance. This is a Polaris Scrambler 850 XP LE. This is a 2013 model, so this is all the bells and whistles for that time. It has power steering, it has Fox racing shocks, piggyback adjustable all the way around. Very powerful engine, so it's an 850. That was a two-stroke, this is a four-stroke. So we're putting out probably almost 80 horsepower from the factory, so it's very fast from the start all the way to the top end. Still has four-wheel drive. It has some utility. It still has a rack on the back. You can still do a winch and plow if you want. You can still put a tow hitch on the back if you'd like, so you do have those options. But this thing is really made to go fast and to handle well. So this would be considered sport utility class. So these, they still make these new, probably, gosh, $10,000 or more. These can be had used for around $6,000 to $8,000. These are really popular for people to mud with, so it's kind of hard sometimes to find one like this that actually doesn't have any modifications, no high lifter tires, no radiator, relocator, or snorkel kit. And if you do that stuff, looks fun, more power to you, but I probably wouldn't buy one used that's been done like that. Usually it really wears on the engine. It's pretty stressful. It's stressful on the axles. So I wouldn't recommend one used. But this would be more sport utility. They do make a Polaris Sportsman 850, which has the full racks and is a little more work oriented. It's a little bit heavier even than this. This thing's almost 800 pounds with rider, so it's got some weight to it, so you have to be respectful of it. It's certainly not a racing four-wheeler, but it's very fast, really comfortable, and really fun to ride. So if you want something you're comfortable with, a bigger size, maybe you're a bigger person, got a little bit of experience, but you still want it to be comfortable on occasion, but still be able to haul the mail when you want to, then definitely something like a Scrambler sport utility model. So this is a Yamaha Raptor 700R. So this is moving more towards pure sport. In fact, Yamaha defines this as a pure sports quad, but I would consider this more of a fast trail racing quad. It's a 700 or 686cc motor, so it's got a lot of power, especially on the lower end. But one of the defining characteristics, how you know you're moving into sport now, is it has a clutch. So it's a 5-speed, 1 down, 4 up motorcycle sequential transmission. So you need to be comfortable with either riding your clutch or learning to ride one. I probably wouldn't recommend this necessarily as a first four-wheeler, especially for a kid, since it's very fast. It has a ton of low-end power. And people talk about it being a little tippy. It's actually fairly well balanced if you know what you're doing, but it's easy to overpower in a turn and lose your slide and tumble over, and you can find plenty of fail videos of that on YouTube where people that got away from them. But overall, this is going to be really fun. This has no worry for utility, no racks whatsoever. Clutch, fun motor, really capable transmission, has good ergonomics. It's still pretty comfortable. It's not super aggressive on the ergonomics, so you can ride it a pretty good while and not get too tired. But no power steering on this one. Power steering on the Scrambler, which was a game changer and really changed the industry. You can ride the Scrambler with power steering for 4 to 5 hours without any type of fatigue or soreness, which is incredible. Ride this thing for 4 hours, you're probably going to know afterwards, but it can do it. I know this is really popular in the dunes. The other thing that makes this really nice for the trail is it does have reverse, which gets you out of trouble. It even just makes it easier to move it around in the garage or yard or load it on the trailer. So very fast, but still has reverse, still fairly comfortable, and definitely a good quad for somebody that's more experienced or is wanting to get out on the trail and they're not doing like slow technical stuff. They want to be able to get out and ride pretty fast. This thing will do it for you. And this is an 09. They switched over to the fuel injected model in about 07. Before that they were Raptor 660s with 2 carburetors. I probably wouldn't go that route myself. I'd rather have fuel injection so that you don't have to worry about carburation or jetting and it starts right up on a cold day. These started in 09. They redid them a little bit in 16, made them a little faster. Used, these are 4,000 to 5,000, all the way up to 9,000 or 10,000 for the newer ones. So this is Yamaha YFZ 450R. So this is pure sport, pure race. This, as you can see, it looks aggressive, it rides aggressive. This is only made for one thing, and that's going fast. They say that you can buy this off the showroom floor and race it. So this was the first time that a 450 dirt bike, 450 4-stroke race engine was put in a four-wheeler. They did that in about 03, and so I've never looked back. In fact, Yamaha's the only person left making sport quads between the Raptor and the YFZ. All the other Honda, Kawasaki, Suzuki, everybody else has abandoned the 450 class. So much is going into side-by-sides now. So this guy's a ton of fun. It's probably about 45 horsepower, about the same as the Raptor, but it makes its power through revving and at the top, so it wants to be ridden aggressively, shifted aggressively. It has long travel suspension, so this thing's made to jump and spin and slide, so it's a ton of fun. It's got really aggressive ergonomics, it's got high foot pegs, it's made to be able to stand and move your body around on, so it's not going to be the most comfortable for a really long ride. You can certainly trail ride with them, and I do. There's no reverse, it doesn't like going slow over technical stuff. So that's not what it's made for, so keep that in mind. It even has quick release plastics, so you can get the plastics off quickly if you have problems or things that you need to replace at a race. But these are a lot of fun. I would not recommend this either as a first four-wheeler for somebody. Got the clutch and so much power. I would recommend this as something after you've already ridden four-wheelers for a little while. But you can get the carbureted versions, 304, I think they made those to about 09. Maybe a little longer. You can get those for anywhere between $3,500, $5,000, $6,000. These new are about $9,600. You can get them used for $6,500 if you pay attention. Obviously this is fuel injected. This is the R version, SE special edition, so really wide track, made to be really stable and fast. So a lot of fun. And then for a bonus round, outside of those categories, this is a 99 Yamaha Warrior 350. From the days of old, they started making these in about 87, 89, and made them through about 03 or 04. So it's a 350cc engine, but still has a clutch and a 6-speed transmission. So this is a really fun four-wheeler to ride. It's not hyper aggressive. You can ride it slowly if you want to. It's a great four-wheeler for somebody that wants to get out on a trail and still shift their own gears, or if you've got a kid that wants to learn how to shift gears on a four-wheeler, this is an easy way to do it. This is what they used to look like in the old days. So it's still fun, not as fast, but it does offer a clutch if that's what you're interested in. And you can pick these up for anywhere to $1,200 to $2,000, and really reliable and easy to work on. So if you've got a teenager that you want to have them kind of learn to work on a four-wheeler, this would be a great way to do it. So that's my wrap up of utility, sport trail, and pure sport, of course, old school. So hopefully that gives you an idea of if you're looking in the market for a four-wheeler, what you could find, what's out there. Each one of these four-wheelers I have a full riding review on. I'll put the links in the description of this video. Hopefully this video helps you. Just buy something and get out and ride it. It's an awesome hobby. Buy the nicest one you can afford, but just buy something. So thanks for watching and good luck riding.